Oh, too right, Lomas. Touchdown, Detroit black guy. TJ Lang joining us on a Championship Friday. Here's how it's going to roll. We're only talking to TJ for one segment. Then it's you guys. We go straight to the phones afterwards. TJ, how are you, buddy?
I'm good with that. 15 minutes, let's do it.
What's happening,
Bang it out.
Yeah.
What's happening, big time?
What's up? What's up? Oh, I had something I wanted to read you first.
Thank you for gracing us and just doing radio today.
Okay.
Did you have a poem?
Yeah. Hold on. Dan Campbell and Jared Goff have been vital as this team heads out in search of a title. That's as far as I got. I'll take suggestions.
All right. That's that EMU journalism class.
That's as far as I got.
Go Eagles!
I had another one, but
for
I
you.
couldn't find anything to rhyme it with.
That's about as far as caller Chris got with Doug and Scott.
What rhymes with
I'll be
Super
quick.
Bowl?
4 minutes. Okay, now.
Yeah, and no.
Go ahead and
all
clip
right,
that,
so
David.
the theme of the day has been, TJ, your biggest point of confidence and your biggest point of concern with the looming matchup, Niners and Lions.
Okay, I know what I said yesterday. The more I think about it, I think the biggest area of confidence would be this offensive line in the run game. I do think you have the best offensive line still left in the playoffs. Look, Jonah's going to hurt a little bit, but I think they'll fill that void. No problem. Concern, I would say it has to be not containing Brock Purdy well enough. You know what I mean? He's very slippery in the pocket. Gets the ball out of his hands quick. They get him on the move a lot. Some rollouts, some bootlegs. That's been a thorn in this team's side for a long time now when you have a quarterback that can do that. So for me, it would probably be the biggest concern is, hey, if you get them to third downs, and then Brock Purdy runs a couple for 10, 11-yard gains first down, and those lead to points. So football-wise, those are my football reasons why I'd be concerned if they're not able to bring down Brock Purdy.
Interesting. All right.
What did you say? I
surprised.
didn't hear.
No, I'm surprised. And I'm not going to – you have a right to go back on what you said. I'm just surprised. I thought yesterday you were in a different place. I didn't realize Brock Purdy's legs terrified you.
Well, the more the more.
So like that final drive when he picked up the 15 yards and took him down to the 6-yard line.
Crucial plays. I think it's going to be a close game. I do. But I think
because you forget about him.
You do.
You don't account for him. It's like if Jared Goff took off and ran for 15 yards, nobody in the place is thinking, oh, my God, he can run.
And even, Mike, today, this morning, I had a chance to go back and watch even 3 or 4 more games. And at every game, there's like 4 or 5 plays where he just scrambles out of there. And, it should be 2nd and 16. Instead, it's a 20-yard gain or something like, you know what I mean? Teams just kind of falling asleep on him. I think that's had a big impact in their offense. Everybody knows about McCaffrey and looks like sounds like Debo's going to play and Ayuk, but
would you feel different? I think Vegas has his over-under of rushing yards at 7.5. Does that make you feel better?
No, I mean I would take the over if I was a bet man. Only because this is NFC Championship game. Everybody's going to do anything possible. Jared Goff took off last week. You know what I mean? I would be shocked. And maybe it's not so much I'm not saying so much the running. But it is maybe if you've got him hemmed up in the pocket and somehow he squeaks out of there, right, and hits a play down the field. Something like what happened against Dallas where, we had him hemmed up and, man, he just snuck out, couldn't finish the play, boom, big play over your head. That's what starts to concern me because Brock Purdy is pretty elusive. I mean, he is. I'm not saying he's a dual-threat quarterback by any means, but we know Aaron Glenn likes to send a lot of pressure. My biggest concern is when you do send the pressure, you're going to be able to – is he going to escape the pocket or are you going to have – the discipline to finish to bring him down because he makes it was 4 or 5 plays a game that I watched today where it's like, gosh, that defense should be off the field, man. This drive's still going, and boom, it leads to points, and then the games just start to get away. So I think that's a huge concern. Yes,
I think confident concern, depending on which side of the ledger you're on, to me is Dan Campbell. The fact that he really has nothing to lose. The fact that he is that gambler. The fact that he knows this could be the last game, so there's no holding back. We got to do whatever it takes to get to the Super Bowl. If you're a Lions fan, I think that should be your confidence level of knowing He's going to do whatever it takes. He's going to push whatever buttons it takes to get his players to the finish line, whether it's going for it. And I think like last week they kicked the field goal. It was 4th and 4, and he just lined up and took the field. I don't think he's doing that on Sunday. I think if it's 4th and 4, and if he's within the 5-yard line, he's going for it. He's going to go for it to try to score the touchdown and say, okay, you know what, Kyle? Your turn. Match me.
Yeah, and that could be the difference, right? And we know Kyle Shanahan's a hell of a coach now. I mean, he is a great offensive coach. His guys seem to love him,
but he's conservative.
He is very Sean McVay-esque, where 4th and 4 midfield, let's punt it. We're 4th and short in the red zone, let's just take the point. That's Kyle Shanahan's MO. That's his identity. That's who he is. So certainly I could see situation or scenario where Dan Campbell squeezes out a couple extra points by a fake punt or a fake field goal or something goofy on a special teams play, right? A trick type play there. I think that's big part of the reason why you're here is because you have been that type of coach. And we obviously know you get to championship weekend, man. You don't hold anything back, right? So I think he certainly could be their secret weapon.
This is one where all year long I'm like, you need to be a little more Dan Campbell, less Dan Gamble. I think Dan Gamble tells Campbell, take a seat. I got this game. This is my type of game.
Has to be.
Yeah,
and I think that
my
go
biggest
ahead, Mike.
confidence and fear thing was Dan Campbell for a different reason. Is I just don't know that there's a coach in the league that has a better grip and a better relationship and a better feel for his team than this guy. I mean, they'll go to war for him. And TJ, I think you'll appreciate it and recognize it. He's coaching as someone who's been there before. There was no dancing. There was no parade. 2 down, 2 to go.
Yeah.
And I have a great confidence that he will be able to take this team and play well. Now, on the flip side, I do get a little bit concerned about what I just said, which is we've gotten comfortable with this team playing at home, feeding off this incredible crowd, timing up blitzes and the other team's audibles. Like you can't even hear. It doesn't work. They're on the road, and you're not playing one of these welfare teams that you have played. And I just wonder, and I'm guilty of it, have I gotten too comfortable with the get-it-done attitude? Well, you're at home, and you're playing teams you're better than. You should get it done, and they've survived. What they're going to face here is something completely different, both geographically, they're leaving home, and B, wouldn't you say, in fairness, the Niners are a double-digit favorite over the Rams and Bucks if it was in this same scenario right now?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy by any means. Nobody's saying that. But I do.
No, but I think the Lions have a pathway. I do.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that, everything they've done the last couple weeks, like you said, Mike, it hasn't been some crazy, oh my gosh, look at us. Like, it's been expected. You know what I mean? After the games, you talk to players, they're like, yeah, we expect to win these games. We know we're a great team. We know what we can do. I think something turned for them too, really after that Dallas game. I think, and I'm not into moral victories by any means, but we all remember that game and how it ended. I think they came out of that game knowing exactly who they are, knowing what they have to do to win games, knowing what they have to do to make plays in the biggest moments, and that was a game that, us being on the outside, I remember sitting here that Friday and being like, man, I don't know, I'm nervous. Dallas kills teams at home, and man, their defense, their D-line, and man, Dak's playing pretty good, right? And they went into that building, and it's a game they should have won. I think they learned a lot about themselves.
And I'm taking that to my grave.
And I think they learned a lot. I think they learned a lot about themselves after that game, which hopefully they can utilize going into San Fran.
248-539-9797. No, I know who it was. I know. Now, Rico has said Niners by double digits. TJ, I don't have you on the record yet.
I think the Lions cover. I think 7.5 is a lot of points. I think the Lions are a good team. I think they're a great team. And this is probably a bit of homerism in me and maybe just wishful thinking, but I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions 28-26. I could see it being an aggressive Dan Campbell. We know we're going to score touchdowns and maybe get Shanahan to kick a couple field goals and you can get a little bit of a lead there at the end of the game. I just maybe it's stupid. Maybe it's I have football reasons. Certainly, I think this defense. with the identity that they have, I can come up with football reasons.
TJ, here's the thing: if you've
Why I
made
can back that up.
if you've made it to championship week, there is no stupid opinion because either team can one of these teams is going to the Super Bowl. Like this isn't some poor team. This ain't the Panthers going up against the Bears. These are two of the best teams in the NFC.
Can I also say I wouldn't be completely shocked if it were to end up what you think? If
TJ,
it somehow got away from you.
Here's the funny thing, and Mike, I don't think you mind me sharing this. Mike and I were talking, and it was like, I think the Niners will win by 10 or more points, or the Lions will there won't be any in between. It won't be like that squeak it out game where the Niners, like last week, either they go out there and handle their business, or the Lions just take the game.
Yeah. And I think, win or they get their head put in their carry-on bag.
And it's
one of the two.
This is probably the nervous part of being a fan, on this weekend. The last couple weeks I couldn't really make a case for, if they lose this game, what can we talk about Monday? Because those were games you felt like they should win. This weekend, we know anything can happen, but the nervous part of me says, well, okay, let's say if we do come in Monday and, they lost and at least you could say, you know what I mean? There's almost like, okay, we still know we're a few pieces away, right?
Yeah,
right. So
you can feel proud about yourself. I mean, here's the thing.
I don't want that to sound in a bad way, but you know what I mean?
It's not in a bad way because you made it further than you thought that you were going to be. But it is one of those things where when you look at this game, and I've never been a big fan, but the guy on the other side of the microphone, Mike, believes in this Vegas stuff. That line never moved all week long. Now, as a matter of fact, it's gone to 7.5. And you see the confidence that Vegas has in this game and in the 49ers. It's like, because I'm like, man, maybe it should be a lot closer, but they're saying, no, it's not going to.
Well, it leads me to the question I was going to ask TJ, and I'm only half joking. I mean, what the hell are they going to shoot Debo up with for him to play? I mean, is he just going to be carrying a syringe instead of a boombox into the stadium?
God,
what are we talking? Lawrence Taylor any given Sunday? We just go in double dose.
They don't do that.
How does it work? Come on,
they don't do that anymore.
Are you? I thought you were trying to be funny.
No. I'm saying I mean, there's always stuff that they can do. It's like Toradol. I want to say it's not. You're not getting shot up with like
Debo. What's in this needle, son? You don't want to know.
Yeah, this was back in the day too. I don't
plausible
know
deniability.
Debo. They don't really do that anymore. I don't think they can, but. I don't really know. They've been kind of.
Tell me in private.
They've been. Okay. I'm being 100% honest with you. I don't think there's any. Mike, you can't
There's
believe
no
what these guys are doing,
spray?
man. No, it's not.
The stuff they gave
what about
Ray
the
Lewis
magic
back in the
spray
day
from the World Cup?
Hey, remember the stuff they gave Ray Lewis back in the day? Yeah, that.
So listen,
none of that.
Let's give TJ a segment. I feel TJ. This is a new TJ. TJ, you're normally a very confident man, very outspoken, very gregarious. I'm seeing a high level of self-doubt and insecurity out of you.
No, that's false.
I want you to get it together, and then we're going to go to your adoring public next. They are ready to roll on a championship Friday. Let's get to it, shall we?